Hi, Kim, I'm going to speak directly to you as if you're watching this video. This is Invite the Light. My name is G. That is my nickname, just so you know. And I have another channel called Invite the Light Readings that I've done for a year. So I was brought to do readings for you and some other celebrities who I feel guided to do readings for. So I'm going to continue on. This is your third reading because let me try to see if I can. Sorry, while I'm sort of shuffling out these cards in a way, let me see if I can try to shorten this down. I will tell you, and somebody yelled at me about it the other day. Somebody told me that it's just too much chatter. That's something that I do struggle with. So just bear with me. I feel like I do talk a lot, but I feel like what I have to say makes a lot of sense and is valuable if you can stand processing it. So I'm here to talk about your outlook toward your marriage, because I happen to see a couple of other videos where people said that you guys might separate, and I feel really sorry for that, because I really felt from day one that you guys could see, anybody could see how happy you were, like truly, authentically, 100% happy, mutually happy with each other. And I just feel like some things with Kanye, not Kanye himself, the person, you know, unsheathed is the problem, but it's a lot of the extra dramas and stuff like that that's become the problem. Like Kanye himself is not the problem, you know, just the way he processes things or things like that. That is what I think a lot of the issue is. But you stood by him, and I just want to see where we can look into your reading and see what can be done to get you to a place where you feel like, one, you don't have to hold so much space for him. And I don't really want to speak for you, but from your other reading, that's what it kind of looks like. You're holding a lot of space for other people, and you need for them to start picking up the slack. I'm not saying that he's slacking, by the way. So anyway, let's get started here. This relationship definitely has a lot of higher energy. It definitely was something that was clearly meant to be. It's definitely something that has a little bit of karma involved. So it could go either way. Either you could be very successful with this relationship if you guys buckle down, and I will do what I can to help provide some useful information that hopefully you can implement or integrate, the both of you. The other thing is that, yeah, there's some karma involved in here. You may already be getting mediation. I don't know. There may be some court mediation already going on. There may be court paperwork already going on. It feels like, you know, the both of you are single at this time. I don't really see. Is there anybody else? You know, even though this was very much so destined and very much so brought together, your union brought together by big, energetic, celestial energies, let's say universal energies, like this is big stuff, because you have a big life purpose and so does he. So there's a lot to bear. There's a lot of weight in this. And I think it's worth it, really, if you guys put in the effort and dig down here. It's going to cost a lot, maybe emotionally, which it already has for you, I think. But if you guys really dig deep here, you can get on the same page. Like Kanye can come forward and, you know, he can start in a way that will be a little more, if Kanye is watching this, just forgive it. Take this really with a grain of salt, because because it kind of like my head is a little somewhere else with this reading. And sometimes when you are tapped into it, you probably know this, like you kind of don't have all of the intricacies of the English language. So there. that Kanye can communicate or whatever in a way that's a little more in alignment, that's a little more easier, a little more pink for the Kardashian brand. All right, let's see what's on here. I feel like Kanye doesn't feel safe at the end of the day here. And maybe on a conscious level, it doesn't mean like, oh my God, I feel unsafe to walk down the street. He doesn't feel safe, like, you know, with the way things go on in the world. He feels like he has to be on the defense all the time. He's just on the defense all the time. And I mean, he's got you guys, you know, at the same time, he's really, really such a good heart, really, truly a good heart. And I see him like standing here and ready to protect you, not only you, but your whole family, all of your sisters, everybody, your mom, and he's just ready to fight. He's standing and ready to fight. The issue is Kanye, when you put things out there energetically like that, when you have defensive forces up energetically, you are making a law, a universal law of physics, let's say, for law of attraction, let's say. You are saying the world is unsafe, people are trying to attack us, and I'm going to be vigilant. And that gets read, that magnetizes, you know, like what, you know, if you look at the way, you know, level, what are cells made of, or how are things done in the universe? Like, we're all basically electricity at the end of it, you know, water and electricity. So things get attracted, neutrons, protons, you know, all of that stuff. I can't remember my 7th grade science class, but that's basically it. So the same thing goes like with your thoughts. When the universe is going to make you right, no matter how you feel, no matter what kind of, you know, situation you're putting out there. If you're putting out a negative mindset, if you're putting up a defensive mindset, they're going to bring attack for you, because what else are you defending against? The universe's job is to honor. But also at the same time, the universe is going to do what it takes to remind you that you are whole. So they are going to have you have these stumblings. They are going to have you be in a negative light. They are going to have you have massive people giving you backlash, you know. But there's some major changes both you and Kim are going through here. And I feel like it could go either way. Right now, you guys are like totally single. I feel like you're separated. You may even be like legally separated. I am really hoping that that is not the case, to be quite honest. So Kanye, here's the thing. Let me jump back over here. Kim, I know I said this was your reading. Now it's turning into kind of his and yours. As opposed to creating like, all good things come to my family. My family is accepted for who we are and what we do. Now notice, I'm going to actually talk about Donald Trump here, which is probably not the best thing to do, but notice, like, energetics wise, you know, most people don't get away with the shit that he says. And I'm going to put aside your political opinion of him, because there's something deeper to this with that I'll maybe get to in another personal reading for you, Kanye. So I'm not condoning or whatever, reinforcing anything with this man, but I'm saying energetically, he's created it. So I speak my mind, and it's safe to do so. I speak my mind even ruthlessly, you know, like you know, like it gets pretty much honored. Nobody really, you know, there's a little bit of backlash, but that doesn't change his constitution. You know, like he has a real constitution, spiritual, energetic constitution against stuff like that, even though you will see him spaz out on Twitter like a maniac. But other than that, I mean, this is who he is. He just lashes out. So, I mean, the universe will make you right. They'll bring that audience who's a little passive enough, the world population a little passive enough, you know. And it's interesting because it's twofold. It's a co-creation because the population has not done so much for years. This is why this Trump attitude and Trump manifestation has actually come in, you know, because it's a part of a co-creation. But in any case, if you want to stop a lot of the drama, you're going to begin to use more affirmative situations. My daughter is safe. She is loved. No matter where she is received with open arms. My daughter has access to everything, as opposed to I have to protect my daughter from the world. I gotta make more money. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Like, those are laws, personal laws of physics that the universe has to honor. So he's like, oh, okay, he feels like his daughter doesn't have the natural birthright that anyone else does in this world. So we can make it like that. We'll send him more upsetting situations. We'll have him, you know, we'll just, you know, and it's not like they sit around planning this stuff, but it just comes in, it gets lined up and stacked up energetically. I feel all over the place, you guys. I apologize. So there's that. Work on that, changing that, start feeling safer, you know. The other thing, sidebar with Kanye, because I don't think he's going to fully understand what I'm saying if I don't say this. You are a strong, unbelievably strong being with a huge purpose. You have a heart bigger than probably the sun itself. And you're a big being from another realm, a higher realm, you know? And you, when somebody comes down here, first of all, it takes a large amount of power to be able to come down here with all your faculty, with all your celestial faculties in place, like just to be able to have enough things in alignment to become famous. You know how many people like Sidebar who are really good in life, but they get so distracted by whatever, or they don't have faith or whatever, you know, but to be able to come down here amidst all of this energetic pollution and noise here in this realm, on this earth plane, and still become wildly famous, especially under a consciousness where there are issues. The global population a lot of times has a consciousness of Black people being inferior. And believe me, sidebar, I'm not here to be like creating a victim story at all. At some point, there has to be certain truths about what goes on this earth. And so that's it. So having said that, that is hard for people, strong beings who incarnate into a body where a body that is with Black or brown skin, let's say, and they're embedded in this consciousness of inferiority. Like, some people don't adjust well to that, and that's what's going on with Kanye. Like, you know, this Black consciousness inferiority shit. Like, that shit is for the birds. So Kanye, what you're going to have to do is break some contracts of consciousness, because there are, I don't give a fuck, excuse me, there are certain contracts that we end up conditionally signing, belief systems we end up entering into in order to keep this consciousness going, both Black, white, and whomever. You know, so that's where a lot of the stress is. And when you're able to exempt yourself out of that, and get into what I would call probably like Oprah or Michael Jordan, or maybe I shouldn't even say names of other people, but when you're able to transcend that level of consciousness, that box that people are putting on color in this world, both systematically, you know, through the media, all those things, you know, then you really will be able to function with a lot more of your mental real estate and a lot more of your energetics and emotional equilibrium in place. You know, if you just understand that a lot of this is a farce, and that you've actually come here to actually really push push that farce out, which is why you feel, when you feel so pressed down and really oppressed by something, that is where your message is. You really feel like almost to the point where you could just go maybe a little ballistic. It really means that you're not 100% in your purpose. It means this is likely your purpose, but you're not speaking enough about it. You're not facilitating enough about it. You're not expressing or accelerating the issue into the direction it needs to go so that the proper vibration can be restored here. So those are the things that you have to deal with first. And then I think once you start dealing with that, you will begin to have a sense of your own power not being diffused and confused by having alliances with certain people. I feel like, okay, I don't want to call you confused because that's not the case. You are unfreaking believable, Kanye. Kim, I'm sorry that Kanye is actually taking this over, but you need to hear this so that you can understand as well. And I feel like the marriage, you guys will be able to work together to really bring the marriage into a place where it is both, where you both feel like you're not only just thriving monetarily, but you're thriving socially, because that's important to you, you know, and it's important to him, but in a different way. So once you really define your power within yourself and just take back your power from these dumbass definitions that feel very real. They do feel real because they manifest, like I said, in media, they manifest, you know, you'll be able to see all of a sudden that some of the fixations, I guess, that you may have, you know, some of those strongholds, not necessarily a fixation, it will come off that way to other people, but some of those strongholds, that's what the real story is, will come off. I don't see you being friends with Trump after doing something like this, after really redefining your power, releasing the consciousness, this screwed up consciousness contract of what it means to be Black in this world, to be subpar, inferior, you know, you're here to push past that as well. And you'll have a lot more energy to, yes, create, you know, fashion on the levels of Louis Vuitton. You know, and you'll be able to also release the consciousness that that white is success and white is the. Now, this is not to hate on people who are white at all, but it's to say that success doesn't only belong to them and they are not the epitome of success, truly. As far as spiritual energetics are concerned and spiritual and universal birthright is concerned. See, this is where you are right now mentally, you know, and you're really supposed to be here. This is who you truly are, who each and every one of us truly are. We are truly 100% beings who are afforded 100% abundance and 100% brilliance, you know, those type of things. So this is what you're struggling with on this earth plane. This unbelievable spiritual poverty of this earth plane is kind of like screwing you up. And you're struggling with the fact that you're a huge, unbelievable big being. You have a really big destiny that you came here. And again, this relationship as well could be either, it's destined, but it could either be a little bit karmic. I also see here as well, if you guys were able to focus a little bit more on the love, I see what's going on here a little bit too. Allow your love to flow a little bit more and take the hit on the money thing a little bit. Pay attention to how you react to that too, Kim and Kanye. Pay attention to if you're like, what? You know, like, and dig deep and see why you were triggered. Because there's some issue here the both of you have forgotten in your mission here. You've gotten kind of like earth amnesia incarnating, that there's a sense of personal worth through value of money. And if you guys can remove that, more money will come in, more abundance, even more abundance and success will come in. You guys already are generating it, but it's getting generated with a certain level of karma, let's say. And this is why there's the drama, not only with you guys, but in other portions of the family, like that lack of social stability and stuff like that. Social opinion a little bit. Don't worry about it. I'm not saying, you know, to me, the person who has the worst fucking reputation in this country is the one leading it. And he's doing all right. So, you know, like, pay attention to that as well. That has to do with energetics, you know. Now, even though you come in the world and you are like, I just want to be an asshole and be accepted for being an asshole, you're going to have to pay for that karmically. But, you know, the universe will try to find a tolerance for it in a place if it fits the agenda. And it does right now fit the agenda. That's another, you know, to elevate the global population. So indirectly, this is probably where Kanye maybe connects with Trump. Like, let's say he does not like him on this earth plane. But as far as universal agenda, as far as divine agenda is concerned, with accelerating the consciousness of this planet and returning people to their 100% wholeness and full-on universal birthright from, let's say, God or source. You know, let's say that Kanye is connecting and streaming consciousness from another dimension. You know, I know this situation is getting a little weird now. The conversation is probably getting a little weird for some of you. So what I'll say is this. Ultimately, what is Trump's effect? I did not come here to preach about Trump's ass, but I guess we're going to do this. Trump has affected people to become a little more aware. He's also pushing down people who have been limited in their limitations. He's bringing them right up to that wall. And, you know, that's bringing them closer to their karma to really choose, you know, is this really my divinity? Is this what my belief system is? Does that have to do with divinity and right and human rights? And where am I not acknowledging my own humanity, that I'm so for this consciousness and so for this? So that he's bringing that conversation, he's accelerating that timeline of people in this country that have been on a certain timeline that has not been awakened in the common humanitarian, you know, human theme. Oh my God, guys, I don't know. I know what I'm talking about here, but I just don't know why all this is coming out, because I'm just thinking, I hope you guys are still listening. You and Kanye are still listening. So it's like Trump is on another dimension, and a higher realm and a higher dimension is providing, it's kind of like, oh, here, like this devil thing, right? He's in that consciousness down here, but ultimately maybe, I don't even want to call him, you know, at the end of the day, let's say he's in this role and it's pushing the wheel of divinity, the wheel of destiny and consciousness and universal law. It's pushing it so that it can come back in. So I believe that Kanye is, again, like I said, he processes things on a lot of other levels. So I believe it. Kanye is looking at Trump's seventh dimension self, you know, something like that, let's say. I know conversation getting a little weird, but do stick with it if you can. He is not paying attention to what's going on in the third dimension, which is this realm here on Earth, okay? So, you know, he's looking at it that way. I'm not going to get into the little tit for tat. Like, you guys are going to say, well, what about this that he said? What about that he said? This is what it is. Because at the end of the day, you know, unfortunately, this is I think Trump is he's a cosmic lesson or a universal lesson that has come in, and it's really changing the population. A lot more people are becoming more aware. They're becoming aware of other people's needs and feelings, or the narrative is getting driven to the point where the people who used to be afforded for so many centuries the ability not to care about anybody else's humanity but their own and their own needs, that is coming to a head where they're going to be confronted with that. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty, because I see karma like a mug. But when I say karma, I don't mean like you're going to be condemned to hell. Maybe some people will, but I mean karma more as now the wheel has turned. You're going to be in the position that you have worked hard to keep other people in, and it's going to be either you handle that, process it, take your lumps, universal lumps, which will not be pretty, and then the reward is now ultimate awareness, or you just basically end up dying somehow off this timeline and you end up like this in some other situation where there's a lot of spiritual impoverishment. Yeah. So in any case, I didn't expect that these little 7 cards would come out with all this stuff. But listen, Kim and Kanye, you both are very loving people. You both have really big missions, and you can do this together. Right now, there's just the choice of doing it. So Kanye, for you, it's about really grounding. It's about understanding the levels with which you're processing a lot of stuff, and then it's entirely too fast for this realm to, like I said, you're doing this like this, really, really fast, but people are seeing it like this. And I would encourage you, actually, as I was thinking about you, so literally thinking about you and Kim this morning early on, and I would encourage you to maybe listen to John Coltrane, the jazz musician. Very later on in his career, he started getting very, I don't know, into another mental world and stuff like that. So his music, quote unquote, started getting weird, let's say. He plays the saxophone. There was a lot of just, it sounds like when you actually after a while, when you listen to it, you can hear the order in it. You can hear the universal order in it. It's really pretty freaking brilliant. What I'm talking about, the pieces that you should listen to, Kanye, is called Ascension. And it just sounds like I said, a whole bunch of noise. Oh my God, crazy noise, just a bunch of instruments, like people who don't know how to play instruments. But after a while, you could see the synergy of it. And you could, to me, I didn't see ascension. I saw more incarnation. And this is, I don't know, when I heard this, maybe I was like 26 years old, 25 years old. Yeah, around that time. That's right, because that is when I first traveled. I'm just looking at the timeline, not to be like over here name dropping my whole, or not name dropping, but my whole life. But yeah, I think it was about 26 years old. Not that that probably even matters for you guys, because I had gone overseas at that time to Paris, and yeah, the jazz. I think it was around that time. So anyway, yeah, I don't even know why I need to get that out. That didn't even make any sense to tell you guys all that. That's some old mess over here. So what I see, basically, Kanye, I'm talking to you. This looks like right now you are very spiritual dislocated. I feel like you've lost faith in the creation, in universal justice, in God. But there's something here where you're not using your resources. So what I hear is there's a blame game going on. And if you stay in this brooding thing, like you disconnected from Kim, because Kim loves you, she does. And I mean, she's really gone through some stuff and overstepped some of her own personal boundaries to really go to bat for you. And I'm not yelling at you, Kanye, or anything like that, but I'm reading the cards. there's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of fights, but she stands through and she's defended you so much, you know, like even in her own mind, let's say. She really, to me, really believes in you, believes in this union. So as I said some years ago, when you first had that thing about Beyonce and announcing your presidency, I can't fully remember what that rant was about. And she was there. I literally made a video for you, Kanye, and I wasn't doing any real YouTube stuff that I'm doing now about that, about really trying to pull back because you have someone who's really in your corner. But, you know, certain things are worth letting go. You and Kim do build a lot together. I believe that you've known each other before as well. I feel like definitely, wow, definitely. And there's this knowing that you guys have between each other. There's this real understanding that you have between each other and this real love, you know, but you have to get out of victim mode, Kanye. That's what's going on here. You have to get out of victim mode. And that's going to start by getting rid of these definitions of what a man should be, of what a son should be, of what, you know, of what a rapper should be, of what a Black man should be and should not be. Like, as soon as you get out of those consciousness definitions here, I feel like you'll immediately find that a lot of the relationships and things that you wanted and the moves that you've made in the press, they're not even going to be relevant anymore because they were unconscious ways of gaining your own sense of personal power or maintaining your own sense of personal power. Now, in the eyes of others, I don't think for you personally, you ever lost power personally, but really in the eyes of others, not being viewed. And that's why I also think the slavery thing came up as well, which, you know, that was for me personally, it was a little bit strange, but understanding how you, process things. Again, when we have divine right and free will, I'm not saying that slavery was a choice, okay? I'm not fucking saying that. On the earth plane, no, it was not a choice. But I think, again, you're looking at things from a divine, you're looking at things from a higher dimension and seeing that there are people who choose to incarnate to experience these things. And I don't want anybody to take that the wrong way, because I really don't want anybody to be offended. Really man up. But there's certain laws and lessons, and there's certain shadow aspects and light aspects that we as beings in our own consciousness overall sometimes want to explore, or we need to get some kind of thing out of, or we're here to push the consciousness forward. So people are like, okay, I'll incarnate as this person because I will commit to help pushing the consciousness forward. So, you know, you feel on the 3rd level, in my opinion, that there's no strength in having a history of slavery, you know, and I get it. I really do. I think you're not the only one who struggles with that. You know, I feel like, for instance, Tiger Woods struggles with that. That's why he's never really able to admit that he was Black, you know, because being Black has been equated so badly with just being inferior. When you have these big high achievers and these big people who have brought in a lot of their own consciousness into this, I mean, their own true divinity of being whole, of being complete in their complete power, or their almost complete power, which is like legions more than what a lot of people have on this planet. You struggle with that, you know, because it's not fucking true. You struggle with that, you know? It's shit, you know? Other people are sitting here. They've conquered this land, conquered that land. They have made this cheese, speak this language. They have these, you know, these customs and stuff like that. And what do I look to? I have slavery, you know? And I'm not disrespecting the ancestors or anything like that. Because, again, from a higher consciousness, These are very strong beings, perhaps even stronger than the oppressors, than many of the people who are on this planet populating it now, who have come in, they toed the line, they incarnated into those things to push the consciousness forward on this planet, okay? God, I don't know. You guys, you know, I feel like Kim and Kanye, you guys must understand this. I feel like nobody else deserves to see this except you guys. No disrespect to anybody. But so as soon as you're able to redefine that, Kanye, and really take full ownership of not only your personal power within yourself, but the personal power over how other people view you, you're going to be able to be immediately viewed as an extremely powerful person. You know, seriously, do you think you got the name genius, you know, by putting on the MAGA hat? You know, you didn't. I mean, people say you're genius all the time. You definitely have higher concepts. I had not followed you, to be quite honest. I have never followed the music of Kanye, and that's no comment or anything on the music being bad, but I don't know. I just never did. So I always saw like these quote unquote, what they look like as outbursts here on the earth plane. But they're more like a tantrum from the spiritual, from your higher, you know, from all the capacity that you bring in and you try to fit into this small body and the small consciousness here. I was just like, man, you know, whatever. And then I sat down and heard you talk one day and saw all of your unbelievable power. You were talking about, everybody is always talking about be humble. What? I don't have to be humble. Like, when's the last time? And this is what, like, true to my heart. I was like, thank you. This is what I'm talking about. Like, when's the last time when somebody said, be your absolute best and better? Go for it. Like, that's something that resonates with me. That's something that triggers me, you know, because people just build their entire lives on just fucking holding people back, you know, and there should be many more brilliant people, like I said, on this planet, really thrive, you know, together we could really get into something truly amazing. If children were able to really be cultivated, to really be able to problem solve and innovate and invent, you know, this world would be amazing. Like, the technology would be on steroids. We would be living on other planets already, and it would seem very normal, you know. We wouldn't have to be worrying about overpopulation and pollution. Like, we're still struggling with the same things we've been struggling with hundreds of years ago. Like, it's, you know, and it's very interesting. I'm going to say this. Normally I wouldn't disclose this, but I was at a training last year, actually exact year ago, and the person who was leading this training, is just a meditation training, and or slash yoga type thing, and they said, I had asked a question, and they responded to me. They said some of the beings, the higher beings from higher realms, look at the human race, and they don't even differentiate it from a bacteria. And I really think, personally, I thought that was so fucking funny. Like, I still crack up about that. I'm not cracking up about it right now because I'm more in a serious mode with you guys. But when we think about it, we are still struggling. Like, we're just coming in with the Me Too movement. Like, a woman is just now getting to start. There's this consciousness going where men are being held accountable for overstepping their boundaries with somebody else's body, invading someone else's body. Like, this is what the fuck we're dealing with in 2018. Like, this is some caveman shit. And maybe even cavemen didn't even act, you know, this savage. And then we've got a judge who will give boy in jail. He doesn't want to ruin that boy's life, for having invaded the body of this woman who was unconscious. So, I mean, you know, when you look at these things, what the fuck we're dealing with, how barbaric it really is. Like, there really isn't, you know, bacteria, honestly, is probably, you know, probably even a little more elevated. My God, so fucking crazy. So anyway, Kim and Kanye, this is like, I didn't expect this. I'm gonna keep going on. We're gonna do this for like an hour because I want to be a bit more complete on this. So let's look at your energies. Okay, for Kanye, Angel came out. All right. So not only Angel does appear a few times. Slave also came out. Okay, so it's like Kanye, again, you came here for a purpose. You came in here with extra abilities, extra sensitivities, extra hardware, let's say, and you've kind of gotten a little bit tumbled around in the dryer of this consciousness and sort of lost your orientation, let's say. Kanye, don't take this in a negative way. Don't get distracted. Stick with me on this because this is who you are, Angel, okay? You have to reconnect to your purpose. That doesn't mean proving anyone wrong, putting the MAGA hat on. I'm being a little scolding now. Making these statements that people would not understand, that you know that they wouldn't understand. There's certain statements you do make that you know they wouldn't understand. Slavery was a choice, not here on this earth plane. You know, the choice to incarnate on a life timeline, that somebody would be a slave, that's another debate. Okay, so start processing things on 1, 2, 3D. That's the earth plane. Stick here, ground. Put your bare feet on the earth, okay? You brought all that beautiful land out in Calabasas. And I actually personally think, sidebar, that Calabasas is very good for you in the way that I was there in February for a couple of days visiting some friends or whatever. And it's just nicely tucked in these hills. And I feel like you need that earth nurturing. Like, it feels very protected in Calabasas, perhaps even a little too. So, but you go there, you draw your strength, you draw your energy, you know, try to stay off the social media a lot. That's another thing, just to be able to retain your energy, because the social media, your energy leaks, the TV, everything, not just Instagram and all this. Kim, that's your thrivation. Kanye, that's your kryptonite, okay? So stay off of social media, honestly. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. And in fact, people believe in you so much. Believe me, if you cannot, and I said this a long time ago, if you can't personally destroy your own career single-handedly, you know, I don't know how anybody else really could, you know, by going with Trump and doing all these things. You still are loved at your core. You still are accepted at your core. People know. It's almost like a veil that just needs to be pulled back, this stuff. So if you get into your power, recenter in your purpose, go ahead and let go of trying to prove stuff to people on this earth plane and really get grounded and centered into your purpose, Kanye. You are going to do extremely well. You're going to get to that place immediately where you want. It's almost like an illusion, the way you're trying to go about it, to be recognized, to be acknowledged as a person in Black skin, is not to talk to people about it, is to just get in and do without letting it permeate anything. If Kim is who you love, Kim is who you love. You don't have time to be worrying about what people think. Although I feel like a lot of people support this union. I don't know. I mean, Snoop has said a couple of things. And maybe, yeah, with interracial Kanye, maybe certain levels of extra sensitivities that may not be able to be perceived because Kim, you're not born into that experience. It's just natural. Just like, you know, you wouldn't know how to deal with a lion, you know, because you're not born into that experience. I mean, you get it, but, you know, to really have it in the DNA is another thing. But that's okay. That's okay, you know? So, you know, you guys also came forward probably like this in an interracial situation to raise the consciousness, to remind people to be looking at love as universal. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. This is what's starting to make sense to me right now too as well. So let me just go ahead and press on. This martyr card here goes with this. There's a little bit Kanye pity party stuff is not going to help you. Like, this is totally shitting on your timeline global thing. Like, tap back into your higher self. The other thing is too, when you do this, you're a powerful person and you're open on many levels. I feel like you need to really get like a trusted person, really trusted, really top level person who understands like multidimensional work and clearing and stuff like that, and also a little bit of soul retrieval. No, maybe you don't need soul retrieval, but a little bit of the multidimensional aspects, because you'd have to be careful. You're very powerful, and when you're in these energies, you could be connecting to, don't be afraid of this, by the way, because you know what, your free will is, your conscious free will at the end of the day is law, period. So just make sure you're always connecting to great goodness and great God. And what you need to do is you have to shield yourself before you go out. You need to shield yourself before you turn on your phone. For you, Kanye, is grounding, grounding, grounding. If you do this, you're going to stabilize a lot more, and your marriage will be on a very good, very, very good level. Like, I really see so much promise, so much raw promise between the two of you. Whereas other people are the other way around. They have this superficial connection, and then the raw bottom portion of it is not correct. But you guys have it from the ground up, your love. So, I mean, if you want to really make this last, and you definitely can graduate this of more communication and really working toward more awareness and not letting get money involved. I really feel like money is this thing that is like also destroying or eroding your relationship. And it might not be immediate money, it may be like the fame. Kim, it may be worth it to take the hit on this for like a year and just really focus on the both of you. Kanye needs like straight up spiritual, he needs like spiritual, energetic recalibration, and he definitely needs grounding, grounding, grounding. You know, so Kanye, you can put your feet on the earth as well and just see roots going out of your feet, right? And just push them all the way down to the center of the earth. That's the earth's core. That's the earth's power and creation. This earth is a creator. If you look around, you see nothing but creation bursting forth. Like if you just look outside, you see clouds, you'll see trees, you'll see flowers, you'll see birds. Like it's just bursting forth in expression, in creativity. This is who you are. So use this universal law of this earth plane to really be in your creativity. You know, just as the sun goes up, a wise woman once said, the sun comes up and the sun goes down. You get to begin again with the sun going up and the sun coming down. You get to begin again every single day to better yourself as far as where you need. But also use the earth, because the earth creates no matter what. The earth does not get distracted by what's going on Instagram or anything. It doesn't get upset. It's not running for president. You know, the earth is just strictly in creation all the time. And you should use that. So just draw up that strength, because there's a crystal core like in the earth. Let's say when you push your roots down, there's fire there and there's crystal core, and you just pull that nurturing up from the earth, up through the roots, up through the legs, up through the heart and head, and then back down, and then just keep circulating that energy through you, circulating it, and really clearing, grounding, clearing, grounding. That's really going to help you, Kanye, you know? So yeah, I mean, this is what I see. I do see a bit of a transformation. I do see a bit of an ending here. I feel like maybe Kanye is trying to, there's just so much for you guys to juggle. But if you just, Kanye, if you just do that grounding freaking thing, I think you guys will lengthen your timeline in order to fix this, as opposed to there being more separation. Let me just see what else is going on here. Like, as far as how is your marriage? Either one, you guys are like really working very, very hard, or you're really working hard to focus on it, but it doesn't seem like 100% you guys are working hard to focus on it. I feel like Kanye is like working hard to make money so he can feel like he's providing more of a space. And that, again, is being lost up in the definition of this consciousness of what a man needs to do. I do see you, Kanye, again, in suspended animation. It's stuck between many different dimensions. Like, you need to ground, you need to bring yourself down to earth. You need to honor and understand your sensitivities so that you can control them consciously. And therefore, you're going to be so much more freer and so burdenless. I feel like there's some natural transitions that could cause separation, and that's this refusal and this brooding as well that adds to it a lot, Kanye. I feel like Kim tries to contribute, tries to reach out, but now you've dislocated from her as well. It's been very disappointing, you know? Like, this is your foundation, your happiness with Kim, you know, and then your children. Obviously, I don't want to speak for you guys like that, but, you know, the foundation is between the two of you is what's created the children. So it's kind of in that order, you know, and it's like you've lost so much faith in humanity and feeling really misunderstood and very disconnected that you just disconnected from Kim as well. Like, Kim is trying. So please, Kanye, take the gift that God has given you in the love of Kim. Actually, it triggered something because I remember your conversations like with T.I. It's almost like your conversations with T.I. and the other people, like, it felt like when you were getting attention, like when somebody's literally sitting down and hearing you, that's what makes you feel good. But I feel like you're kind of confusing that. You can have that, but you've got to get all this other negative dialogue out of your head, because people love your music. They love you. They love your innovation, and you have a lot of value, Kanye. And I see you're a nice person. You are a nice person. You are loyal. You are so good. Like, you really love the Kardashian family, but you can't get past your own shit right now, and you need to get over yourself, okay? That's what the universe is basically saying. Like, get over your own bullshit with this planet. You know who the hell you are. You know, honestly, you know who you are. So go back. You've created this wonderful relationship. You guys have really big shit to do, and you don't have time to keep fucking around, Kanye. Start doing your exercises at night. First of all, before you go to bed, you need to clear all of your energy, because you take on so much energy. Not only energy here, you could be in Calabasas, but you're picking up shit in Kenya, okay? So you've got to be able to separate those energies out. You got to be able to bring higher beings in. You have to have a team of light. Bring those higher beings in and have other people process that energy for you, because it's causing you to be like a bottle that keeps getting, you know? And you don't want that. You know, you came here to be more like this, flourishing, giving information, being a wonderful example, and inspiring people, and focusing on a universal truth that provides universal example for other people to be in their greatest center, in their greatest power, in their greatest personal power, and really expressing everything to their fullest. This is your purpose. It's not this shit here where you are. So you get out of the dryer, you got tumbled around. A lot of us do. It's rough, it's tough, but understand you need a good spiritual team, you know, and make sure you are connecting to people of light. Like a very good person says that as well. Like, make your declaration, make your laws, that anything that isn't in my highest destiny, isn't in my highest divine benevolent purpose, is removed from my timeline, is removed from my connection. Make sure you break contracts as well, you know, and you'll feel it, you know, honestly, you will feel it, because things will be fighting hard tooth and nail to hold on. You may take some losses. So, you know, you got to be prepared to write this stuff down and just read it every day so you don't forget it, because there will be things fighting to hold on to you, because you carry a lot of energy. So people are feeding off their beings, their things that feed off this kind of energy here. They feed off of this. And you knew that coming in. That's why you came in, to help people get out of their rut. But now you've ended up in a bit of a rut of your own, and you just need to recenter and remember who you are, okay? Which is this, not this, okay? This, not this, all right? So let's see. So it's interesting how your comments on slavery have come around to you know, actually what's going on for you internally, Kanye, because what levels of slavery are you committing to as well? Being a slave to having to explain the consciousness, being upset about the consciousness and the definitions that people have defined, as opposed to just really being in your element and naturally eroding away those century-long consciousness, you know, and having more energy to help people elevate up into that as well, until this consciousness is finally gone. Oh, wow, Black people can truly be successful too, you know? And we're not just talking about, not to bring LeBron or anybody in this in a bad way or anything, not just talking about being a basketball player or, you know, being a Denzel movie star or something like that. Although there's in a lot of higher purpose as well. But I'm just saying, so does LeBron, but Denzel especially. As opposed to being with this, Kim, you also got a card similar to this in your reading the other day, as opposed to being in this, right? In this, you need to be more in this, reflecting, really being above the consciousness, being able to encase the consciousness, but being able to control your own light as well, not allowing it to be blown out by the winds of the consciousness of this world, and getting into this energy here, you know, picking up your divinity, remembering who you are, not refusing that, not losing this, putting it down, brooding on what's going on the earth plane, and then becoming dislocated from your divinity and your love and your wife. Okay. Remember, she comes in love. So, you know, because you're not experiencing what you feel is love through attention, because that's another thing as well that has been a theme with you, a certain level of attention and feeling heard, you know, which is fine. But when you know, all right, I'm about to go off on a tangent, sorry. That's something that you need to get into control more of as well. Let's look at what chakras need to happen with you, Kanye, and then I'm going to get off of this because I feel like, I don't know if you guys would ever watch this. So abundance again, the root chakra. Look, you know what, you Kim, this for you as well. The both of you kind of are dealing with this. It's causing spiritual poverty. You know, this thing, this acceptance thing. It's almost like it's your kryptonite. It's like you guys do it well, but it gets done in like a way that's like just really bringing drama, let's say, or it's bringing instability, like, you know. And you guys can definitely have this fame. You definitely can have the money and the fortune. You can be the billionaire, Kim. You can be, even on your own. But and to continue your legacy through your children as well. So definitely you guys do root chakra work. You can get the root chakra healings. I'm gonna list a chakra healing that I do and listen to it through the night. And it's like through sound frequencies, and sound is super healing. So it's, for me, I really like it. So hopefully you guys will do that. So this is the abundance card, and it was upside down. So you definitely, you know, how you're getting your abundance. And then the spiritual abundance. Sorry, it sounds like somebody's outside as well. So let's see, just lastly, what's going on with Kim. I think this is just really focused on Kanye a lot. Child eternal. So listen, but the both of you guys need to focus on nurturing the attention in the inner child. Like, you literally need to go back to that 6 years old and literally see yourself, them, playing with them, talking with them, hugging out that feeling, because there's a certain level of dislocation and abandonment, maybe on an unconscious level. I don't see terrible abandonment, but there's a sense of dislocation. Oh, Kanye, I also do see like your mom coming through on this reading. You know, she loves you tremendously, and she wants you to get back into your personal power. Like, really, this is not you, she said. Get back in motion, really start thinking, get yourself recentered, get yourself renourished, you know, and then remember who you are. You are a creator, you know, and everything, every bit of creation doesn't have to be like a social commentary. I mean, it could be for you, but to me, that like keeps the cycle going. I feel like for you, really getting back into fashion, dislocating from the fact of the world of Louis Vuitton and this and that. Focus on forging, focus on having 100% of your energies really filtered into your work and your level of creation. Go ahead and do that grounding I told you about with the earth, because what's going to happen is you're going to have some of the best creations ever. As a result, you are super creative. And you'll naturally surpass these people. And that's how you're going to build a new institution. Return to self. Every single time you're getting upset, return to self. See what's going on inside of self. All right. And I do think that that is what your mom was doing. I don't know if your mom was like into poetry or anything like that, but the poet card is here. So I feel like she's telling you to do some more hip hop. Return to that as well. But it could be, you know, like I said, it definitely doesn't have to be like on a chastisement level. It could just be really, really good stuff that people enjoy. I'm not talking about fluff music. I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be stuff that you are upset about, because you shouldn't be upset in the first place if you're really in your purpose, you know, not upset to the point of emotions out of line. All right. Yeah, I really feel like you know, there's a lot going on for you mentally, obviously. there's in addition a lot of projects. You have so many ideas, you get overwhelmed. But feel free to say, you know what, I'm so grateful for this stream of consciousness, but I need to turn the faucet closed right now and focus on one idea, okay? Because I feel like they're coming in from like 12 different directions. And I get so much that I feel like you are like a Da Vinci kind of energy, you know, really misunderstood, but very dealing with a whole bunch of different energies that other people can't understand. And it looks like you will be very successful in finally getting those things under control, because this is a Chariot. This is about being able to control multiple forces. Like typically these are horses, and the Chariot has to be able to maneuver these two horses so they don't go separate and end up tearing the whole thing apart. So this is about control over your higher and lower forces within yourself. And once you get that control on the rein, Kanye, you have really arrived. You really have arrived into self-mastery, let's say, you know, or significant, really strong amount of it. So I see really good things for you, Kim. I feel like this reading, Kanye, it kind of, all of that has come in for a reason. And let's see. I really hope you guys like see this video. Because I feel like it just got so, oh my God, it got so so universal, you know. I do see the Warrior card. So the both of you, I see the Messiah card as well, and the Mystic card, Liberator and Teacher. Your mom, Kanye, is saying, remember the liberation through teaching. My son, find your way back through the liberation of teaching. And that starts kind of with teaching yourself first. And people will begin to pick up your energy. You know, stay within yourself as well, because you still are very, very vulnerable, you know, and maybe some of these things brought up in this video to you will be really like very new to you. But I do suggest that you contact like a person, a benevolent person who's not dealing with any sort of dark influences, you know, like, or struggling with shadow. Let me put it like that. We all struggle with shadow, but sometimes, you know, really pray and really start setting your own energetic, spiritual boundaries about who's in your energy and who you're connecting with, because at night, you know, you just never, and it's okay, it's nothing to be afraid of or whatever. Like I said, free will is the saving grace for everything. So just make sure that you are constantly before bed, like not watching anything crazy or looking at anything stressful, you know, at least an hour before. Try to turn your phone off, put it on airplane mode, get it away from you. Oh, do get some shungite rock in your house, because the Wi-Fi waves as well. I see you and Kim with a lot of phones, and you know, maybe you guys have more than one modem and all this, that, just a lot of stuff with Wi-Fi. Like that shit is like no good, you know, and there are tons of conspiracies on the Wi-Fi and what can be transmitted over it. But I won't even go into that because I don't want to shungite, because it does actually absorb like a lot of the rays. And for someone like you as well, who's super sensitive, that could be just an extra thing that you're processing, the stream of stuff that's traveling around in the Wi-Fi in your own home. You know, honestly, I wouldn't put it past. But there are some, let's say, dense forces that you may need to get out of your energy field. You may need to just kick them out. So just be mindful of creating at night who your alliances are to high benevolent beings who are interested in facilitating and elevating my highest divine purpose. That's it. Anyone who's not serving my highest destiny, my highest purpose, I cancel contracts with and associations with and ask them to leave and replace them leaving with light, with a light being. You need something to fill the space. And when you're getting rid of stuff as well, you need to transport that stuff out of like a light portal. You don't need weird energies like knocking about in the house for other people to pick up while they're sleeping, namely like children or whatever. I mean, I don't want to make sure you, when you're keeping your energetic space clear, that's important. Also, Northy, you guys named her North Energies as well. And she also has a little bit of the way her process is, the way with Kanye. So I really do suggest, like I said to Kim yesterday in the video, that you guys actually really begin to get her into, like, I don't know, you could speak to a really good Kundalini instructor. Actually, I know who you guys should speak to. I thought was pretty awesome. And she's in Thousand Oaks. Hold on. I follow her on Instagram. I wonder, let me just see. Excuse me. In any case, you guys should maybe go to a couple Kundalini classes with this woman over in Thousand Oaks, or maybe you can find somebody else who suits you guys. Understanding the energy, the energetic blocks, both you and Kanye Kim, and also Northy. I feel like, you know, she has it in control of the vast amount of energy that she has as well, and start creating vessels. I don't know how to explain this, vessels to filter out certain stuff so that she can communicate and process things without like blow-ups. Where is this person? I will put her in the description box, but she's in Thousand Oaks. I believe it's Thousand Oaks. It's not too far from Calabasas. And she does a Kundalini class there. She also does Kundalini classes in Ojai. So you guys, I found her Kundalini class to be quite cool and good. And it's real laid back. They seem quite professional there. Like if you guys were to come, that they would respect your celebrity. Yeah. So warrior and Messiah, I mean, these are your purposes. So Kanye, again, every day. And Kim, you should be doing this since you have to lie next to him as well. Before night, you guys should be clearing off the energy of the day. I may try to do like, if I have time, I'll try to do a guided meditation for you guys so you can release that stuff and cut cords at the end of the day. I can't promise that I'll get it done, though, to be quite honest. But you can do that, and then, excuse me, you can do that, and then you can start to begin to set your intention for what information and how you want to receive things in your sleep from the higher realms, higher beings, the benevolent. Yeah, and then when you wake up, the phone should be off. You guys should shut the Wi-Fi off as well while you're sleeping, because nobody's using the internet. You guys should get timers, put that on there, because that disturbs your energetic field, like scientifically, it just does, you know, and you'll find that you'll be sleeping on your auric field, you know, it's kind of electric, you know what I mean? And so you have other stuff going through it, it's disturbing it. Say it's tearing it down. So a lot of people feel a lot less shielded when they go out. So shield in the morning, set your intention in the morning. I would say as well, I know you guys are both very, very busy, but there should be some time for meditation, at least 20 minutes before you start your day, setting your attention as well for what's going to go on in the day. And then shielding throughout the day, about 12 p.m., doing another clearing, especially for you, Kanye. Kanye, in the beginning, you should be doing this stuff. You should have your phone bumping off every hour on clear, 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 clear. And clear and reconnect, clear and reconnect to higher forces, restore whatever good stuff needs to be restored, and filter out into the light to be transmuted, not just out anywhere, which is hanging in the air for somebody else to pick up. And car is I let go of all expectations. I think you guys are going to thrive when you're letting go of that social expectations and the thing with money and feeling relevant, you know, that type of thing. Or it's not safe for me to go offline and focus on this, that, and the third because I'm not going to be relevant. And perhaps, Kim, sidebar, you may feel a little bit that way too. Like if you go off, that Kylie will fill a space as well. I don't feel any like negativity between you or negative motivations on her part or anything when I say that, but kind of hold some of your space. But I feel like you can put markers in place. I don't know how to explain that. I hope you understand that, so that you can take a little bit more time off. I feel like you do need to let some things fail, some things die. Tim Ferriss talks about this as well in his 4-hour work week. Sometimes for your own sanity and for more time, you really just gotta open things up to let certain calls be missed every once in a while or whatever. I'm not saying get sloppy with your life or your schedule, but really beginning to the multitasking and stuff like that. You can't multitask the soul after a while. You're pulling all that multitasking from a certain place. And, you know, in order to restore and recalibrate and make sure you're revitalizing that well that you keep drawing from, some things have to fall off. So you can put markers in with your stuff. Like you can plan, like say you want to leave like 6 months out of the public eye, sort of, right? I know you're like, oh my God, I would never do that. I almost heard that right now through the screen. What I'm saying is this: you set up, you know, you launch a bunch of projects, right? That come out, maybe let's say 4 projects within 6 months, 8 months, take a year, you know, 4 projects within 8 months, you make appearances 1 week out of the month, you know, like this girl has no idea what my schedule is. Able to do that, and you guys are able to focus a little bit more, just to have this time for yourself to be able to gel together so that you're more of a cohesive unit, dealing with not being destabilized too easily by public stuff, you know, gossip, tabloid, media, press, nonsense, all that crap, you know, that you're a little bit more solidified in that area, you know. So you have your stuff launching, you make your appearances once a month or whatever, and you just, you know, I also see you building stuff for your children. Like, I don't know why Kanye and Kim, you guys are not doing stuff like a children's line. Maybe you don't want to do one, but I just see you like building Northie and Saint in Chicago. Like I see you guys, I mean, they're really adorable. They're totally modelable type of children. So, I mean, it'd be fun to do a limited line for them as well. And it would sell, you know, it would be very enjoyable. North has leadership skills, but again, you know, like I said, Kundalini, emotional intelligence management type deal. That's going to really, really help her going forward in years to, because she'll be processing a lot of energies as well, I believe. Not as many as Kanye, but all right. So I flow freely and lovingly with life. I love myself. I know that only good awaits me at every turn. Kanye, this is mainly for you creating your new space of not having to be an energetic defense. So what's ending up is that the universe is sending you all these like dramas and fires. But now if you're doing this, you're creating a safe space, but you're also creating, you know, true tranquility, true harmony, true equilibrium. All right, guys, this is such a long video. I really hope that you benefit from this. And honestly, if you guys do need anything, to be quite honest, because I could sense all of what you're going through in this reading. If you do find that you need anything from me, you can have your team write to me. I'll be happy to put together some meditations for you, or at least direct you to some people that I think are really great who can help you both. you know, I would obviously be very discreet and whatever you guys needed. And this is really, to be quite honest, this is really just a genuine offering for you guys, because I see what you're going through, and I feel like it's not a real problem. It's just one element that's becoming the central, because the love is truly, truly there. Okay, let's pull a number real quick. God is your source, or source is your source. If you don't, God, you know, just really go back to creation. That's your message again. Connect with the earth, Kanye, and let go of control issues. Just get into yourself more. It's not saying to just let everything go, but definitely also seeing you guys should travel. But you guys, why don't you guys go somewhere like Norway? Honestly, Norway is a beautiful country. The people there, they're very straightforward. As a matter of fact, that's hilarious. I was walking in Oslo, and I took a picture because in Scandinavia, they don't really use curtains there. It's a very interesting. Some people have curtains, but most people don't. So you see right into their house. And somebody was watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Stay optimistic about your love life. It's right here. The love is there for the both of you. You know, really. I'm going to leave some links to some different things in the description box for you. And like I said, this is just my real genuine offering. If you guys just need some extra advice and you want somebody that you can, who agree interest in, you know, disclosing anything. And even if you guys needed me to sign a non-disclosure, I'm more so interested in helping you guys stay in your, the true authenticity. Just see, excuse me, what is the hell is going on over here? Oh, it's just that the sound carries very well. Sorry. So yeah, oh my God, an hour and 23 minutes. All right. So yeah, I mean, you guys are welcome to reach out to me, invitethelight1@gmail.com. And yeah, like I said, I have no interest in doing that. I would love to really see you guys really be able to honor the true authentic love and the soul purpose, the powerful soul purpose that lies with the both of you, because there is this thing where the two of you coming together as well, entire vibration of the planet. So just know that it feels very strange for me to offer this, but just know that you guys are invited to actually reach out, and you can feel safe in doing so. Okay. So in any case, I do suggest staying optimistic about your love life, and then definitely traveling, but travel somewhere. Like I said, head to Norway. It's such a good and quiet country. You know, like people are just a lot more level-headed and down to earth, and just go somewhere you could hopefully like get away. Maybe you could just take a boat somewhere, like you could go to Greenland or something, and you can take like some kind of private jet somewhere so they don't know where the hell you're going. You know, people will probably tip them off in Norway, but I feel like it's a lot less likely. People are a lot more down to earth there, in my opinion. And it's just such a good country. It's beautiful. I know we're going back into winter. It's not so bad the winter's there, to be quite honest. But then again, well, compared to Chicago winters, I'm telling you, Norway is a walk in a park. It's much more milder. I'm from New York, so, you know, but LA, you might have a problem if you go like in winter. But someplace unknown, I'm trying to think where else you guys could go. Maybe like to Maldives or Maldives Islands, where you won't get hounded so much. You guys need to be in a space where it's quiet, but I also feel like you need to be in a space where it's lush and it's rich, you know? I mean, I also see like Lake Como, but I feel like Lake Como in Italy is not a good place for you. You guys would be tempted to go into Milan, and I don't know, but you got to figure out Slovenia. Maybe you should go to Slovenia for a while. It's beautiful there. Slovenia down into Montenegro, I feel like you guys may be able to get away with, especially Slovenia. Yeah. Yep. Even Even like Czech Republic is nice. I thought, nah, no, not Czech Republic. Unless it's in the countryside, maybe, which is quite beautiful from what I saw. All right, so that's it. I'm trying to figure out, sitting here trying to figure out stuff's gonna be like an hour and a half, and you're gonna think I'm total lunatic. Good luck with everything. Like I said, if you guys do want to reach out, because I do feel that you guys can really surmount this. I feel that this is true, authentic love, genuinely authentic. So it's really great. When you're honeymoon, don't go to Venice. Don't go anywhere. Go somewhere like a little bit off the map, you know? Even maybe in Canada, like the British Isles. I see some place with like evergreen trees, lush and rich. I see that. And just being quiet and being able to heal and being able to utilize healing using the land and stuff like that. All right, you guys, if I come up with anything more, I'll try to make another video for you. But blessings, be well, and keep the faith. Have a good one.